Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and yesterday I had told you about this billfoldal, this wallet that I had ordered, and I'll put the link in the top of the description. But somebody had asked me if I was giving them my 24 words, and somebody had asked me this, and I was like, no, don't ever give anybody your 24 word seed phrases for Ledger Nano S. Nobody. I don't care who it is, okay? But the way this works is you get this, what I ordered was it's this metal wallet thing. And what it comes with is like a metal sheet that has letters and numbers, and you can literally like break apart and pull out the letters and numbers that are your 24 word seeds, and then you literally like slide the individual letters and numbers into so that your words are in these rows. So you're not like ordering one of these and giving anybody your 24 words. Don't ever give anybody your 24 words. What this is it's a way that you can have your 24 words on a piece of metal instead of a written down piece of paper that could burn in a fire or something like that. That's why I even talked about this. And that's why I ordered myself one. I think I'm going to order another couple of them. But the link to that will be in the top of the description if you want to go get one. I have to say, whatever you think about politics around the world, Putin is right here.
We have seen the loss of trust in the dollar and the euro and the pound as the currencies in which you can carry out transactions, hold deposits or assets. And that is why step by step we are moving away from the use of these unreliable, compromised currencies. And incidentally, even the US's allies are decreasing the assets denominated in dollars steadily. That is what the statistics tells us. The volume of transactions in dollars and the assets, everything is being decreased.
In this new world we're going into, wouldn't XRP as a bridge currency be a great worldwide compromise? Now, folks, every once in a while a video about how XRP works and how, in this case, it's a video about how tokenization works. Every once in a while, a short video like this really puts the big picture into perspective. I think this video does that. This is about XRP, the XRP ledger, and how you can tokenize any asset. Watch this.
Hi, and welcome back to our series on the XRP ledger. In this episode, we'll define some basics of tokenization. The XRP ledger was the first blockchain to support the tokenization of a variety of assets. This includes stablecoins or other forms of value, anything from US dollars to euros, gold, stocks, and other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and even non-fungible tokens that might represent valuable items like pieces of art or cinema tickets. Tokens are often called issued assets, or IOUs, on the XRP ledger. This terminology comes from the fact that these assets do not physically live on the ledger. The IOU represents those items of value outside the ledger. It's what somebody will owe the holder of the token. So if a token is issued on the ledger that represents, say, a piece of art, the person who acquires that token is then owed the art that's represented. And any token on the ledger, including tokens for art, fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies, and more can all be traded directly on the decentralized exchange, or DEX, which we cover in depth in another episode. Anybody can create a token on the ledger, and they don't need a smart contract to do so. It's a native function built into the XRP ledger. It's also fairly simple to tokenize an asset. It only takes a few lines of code or the use of a web interface that walks the creator through the process step by step. To learn more about the fundamentals of the XRP ledger, please watch the next episode.
Imagine the world that we're going into where you and I can take our assets and turn them into tokens that are traded worldwide on an exchange. I'm sure that lawyers are going to have a lot of work ahead of them. If I was an attorney, this is something, if I was a young attorney, this is something I would really be learning is how is this all going to work legally? Because I imagine let's say, for example, that I wanted to tokenize, let me think of an example. Let's say I wanted to tokenize, might be a dumb example. Let's say I wanted to tokenize my shotgun, all right? And it's worth, let's say I think it's worth $1,000 and I wanted to tokenize it so that people can own, you could tokenize anything. It could be a piece of art, it could be a shotgun, it could be anything. And I would imagine there will be people that go to certain websites or lawyers and say, okay, I want to tokenize this and I'm going to do it on the XRP ledger. What a fascinating world. All of a sudden, your assets that are not liquid now will become liquid. Now, a lot of people wonder what's the big fascination with this company Ripple and this asset XRP? Well, it's very simple for me, and I put it together in a video for you right here. It's very simple. I did this yesterday afternoon. I was just sitting here thinking, in all of my life, I'm 49 years old now, folks. In my entire life, I have never I've only heard of 2 companies in my life that have ever made anywhere close to the type of claim that, oh yeah, we've got a goal of creating a global reserve currency. I've never heard that around any company until these 2. I didn't even know about PayPal until I had been studying Ripple for a while, but then I went back and found out that was PayPal's original goal. And I really do feel in my gut that somehow Ripple is the second coming of what PayPal was trying to do and involves the same people. Listen. This is Peter Thiel, who founded PayPal with Elon Musk.
From China's point of view, they want to get, they don't like the U.S. having this reserve currency because it gives us, a lot of leverage over, Iranian oil supply chains and all sorts of things like that. They don't want the renminbi to become a reserve currency because then you have to open your capital account and you have to do all sorts of things that they really don't want to do. I think the euro you could think of as, was in part a Chinese weapon against the dollar. The last decade hasn't quite worked out that way, but that was, China would have liked to see 2 reserve currencies like the euro. And, even though I'm sort of a pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin maximalist person, I do wonder whether at this point Bitcoin is also should also be thought in part as a Chinese financial weapon against the U.S. Where
who else has said that? Chris Larson, Brad Garlinghouse, Ryan Zagone, all these guys from Ripple have been saying that for years.
It threatens fiat money, but it especially threatens the U.S. dollar, and China wants to do things to weaken it. So it's sort of China is long Bitcoin, and perhaps from a geopolitical perspective, the U.S. should be a little bit be asking some tougher questions about exactly how that works.
So back in the early days of PayPal, and this is going back to 1999, so it's almost 20 years ago. We actually, our first T-shirt said, PayPal, the new world currency. And so there was this idea that we were going to create this new global currency.
Many people don't know this, but the mission of PayPal was to create a global currency that was independent of interference by.
This is also, his name is Luke Nosek, I think. He was one of the founders of PayPal too.
These, corrupt cartels of banks and governments that were, debasing their currencies. And we succeeded at building something very economically very powerful, enabled many small businesses. We're super proud of it, but we never achieved the mission. And I don't think it is solved by PayPal, precisely for the reason that you brought up in the Venezuela case, where PayPal is simply too centralized and too attached to the big financial institutions, Visa, MasterCard, the ACH networks, the SWIFT network, and it will do whatever it needs to do to keep those institutions happy. It doesn't solve the problem. And I think with its current success and the current management, they're not going to go push the mission of the company forward. That was what we wanted 20 years ago. So somebody else has to do it. Not to mention that it was the wrong crypto foundation, but that's a different story.
And so why didn't you guys foresee this and build something that would solve the problem?
Well, we tried. When we were building the company, initially, Max Levchin, he started working on his thesis in cryptography, was my co-founder at PayPal. He researched Chaumian blind anonymous digital currencies, and then we said that didn't think that was going to quite work. It was too centralized, and it wasn't quite anonymous. Then I think we just never figured out quite the right algorithm, and we were pressured by investors to just get the product out. This is part of the problem of taking investment money prematurely. I wonder what would have happened if Max has been able to sit around and brainstorm and work on the idea. And we don't talk about the mission, and maybe we could have figured out an algorithm that was more like the modern crypto algorithms, which I'm so grateful for.
100 billion XRPs will be enough to cover once the XRP service scales to a global full scale, or would there be a shortage?
Well, so when XRP was created, this actually was created before Ripple existed. The creators of XRP decided there'd be 100 billion units, because they saw it as rather than having a smaller number with a very high price, they saw it as something they wanted to be effectively a global reserve currency.
And then this is a sheet from Ripple's website, one of their articles, where Miguel Valles, who used to run XRP Markets, said, "Most importantly, we remain more committed than ever to the simple goal of making XRP the world's reserve digital currency." And Chris Larson compared it to, he said the goal was to make it kind of like the Swiss franc. And then Miguel Valles also said that the goal was to make it to get the liquidity of a G10 currency. Now, then we did. I had this clip. This is from Brad Combs had the new CEO of Uphold on. Now, he's asking the guy about where are you getting your XRP? Where's the liquidity coming from? And I was surprised by the answer, because the guy would not. I think he acted like he didn't know, but I don't think he doesn't know which exchanges it's coming from. He didn't want to identify. Listen.
We know from Ripple that Ripple in 2019 stopped selling programmatic sales to the secondary market. And we've known that since 2019, Q4, not a problem. So you guys still provide liquidity. So you're not an on-demand liquidity partner. Like, how do you guys get your liquidity for XRP? It's a great.
Sure. Well, we don't have any direct relationship with Ripple. I noticed that was one of the questions you were proposing to ask. So it's basically through the network of exchanges to which we're linked, basically, and there's 32 centralized exchanges from which we source liquidity now, and there's also various decentralized exchanges. Of the CeFi venues, a lot of them are outside the United States. So there are venues in Asia and venues in Europe that we use. The specific ones for XRP, off the top of my head, I don't know. But again, the architecture is the same. We're plugged into this network of 32 venues, and we source our liquidity from a combination of those venues. And one thing that people perhaps don't know about Uphold that's worth flagging is one of the things that's really special about our model, and actually why I joined, we smart route orders to the most price efficient venues. So Uphold is a really good venue for uncovering competitive pricing from you effectively we shop the market so you don't have to, I suppose, is one way of looking at it. And equally, there's not the dependence on one book when you want to sell and access liquidity. You're accessing a very, very deep pool of liquidity through those 28 or so exchanges.
Well, that is remarkable. And you wouldn't, and maybe you do not know, but whether any of those 28, 32 exchanges are ODL partners of Ripple that you source to.
I don't know, and I don't want to speak out of turn.
Sure, I wouldn't want you to do it, Simon. No.
I can't mention those. Now, I was playing, my son is fascinated with this AI, this chat GPT thing that everybody's doing, and I was playing with it. He wanted to type in fact, we were typing in a minute, he wanted to know about, he wanted to do an essay on the New York Yankees of, I can't remember what he said, 1927, I think whatever the best Yankees team of all time. And this, he was amazed. He was watching this thing typing out this 500-word essay that we asked for. It's amazing. Now, I went and typed in, this is one of the great mysteries of crypto. You can't find anything, all you can find on Jed McCaleb is that he's from Arkansas. Beyond that, you can't find who his parents are. You can't, in fact, Kendra Hill in one of her postings said that he was somehow related to people, I think, that have to do with the United Nations, but I've never been able to find anything on where this guy was born or like who he was born to, anything. There's great mysteries in crypto, folks, and there's a lot of people who you can't find any history on them. He's one of them. I'll finish this with a joke. This is a joke. David Schwartz says, I'm taking XRP private at $420, funding secured. Good stuff. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. David Schwartz is taking XRP private at $420.